Okay. Today we will discuss implementation of QuickSort. How to implement QuickSort? Before implementing, first we discuss how to solve how to arrange the numbers in ascending order by using QuickSort. First, the procedure for to sort the numbers by using this technique is you have to assign the first position to left. The first position is always be 0. Assign the last position to right. Last position is always n minus 1. The first position, the left position is the pivot element. Pivot is always the left position. So for each pass, you have to do the process continuously until left less than or equal to right. So what we can do? Increment the left position by 1 when if the left position value is less than or equal to the pivot. Decrement the right position by 1 when the right value is greater than the pivot. Then after incrementing and decrementing, so then interchange the left position with the right if left less than or equal to right. Finally, interchange the right with the pivot. This is the process we are using to implement the QuickSort. Assign the first position, always assign the first position to left. First position is 0. So 0th position is left. N minus 1, last position to right. Last position is n minus 1. Then assign first element as pivot. Then you have to perform the operation repeatedly until left less than or equal to right. So for each pass, increment the left position by 1 when left position value less than or equal to pivot. Decrement the right position by 1 when right position value is greater than or equal to pivot. Interchange the left with the right when left less than or equal to left less than right. Finally, interchange the right with the pivot. This is the process we are using to implement the number, to implement the QuickSort. So we are already discussed one example. So this is the example. So again I will explain. Then finally we go for implementation. For example, there are some numbers 10, 15, 7, 9, 12, 16, 11 and 8. So I already told that assign the first position to left. So left is 10. Last position to right. Right is 8. Pivot is the first element. First element is 10. Pivot is 10. When the left value less than pivot, increment the left by 1. 10 less than or equal to 10. Yes. Increment the left. So now the left is 15. So 15 is less than 10? No. Left position is stopped. In this case, compare the right. The right position value is always greater than the pivot. What is the right position? 8. 8 is greater than 10? No. Interchange left less than right. So interchange left with right. So now the left is 8, right is 15. Again compare. 8 is less than 10? Yes. Now the left is 7. 7 is less than 10? Yes. Now the left is 9. 9 is less than 10? Yes. Now the left is 12. So 12 is less than 10? No. In this case, again go for right side. 15 is greater than 10? Yes. Right is 11. 11 is greater than 10? Yes. Now the right is 16. 16 is greater than 10? Yes. Now the right is 12. 12 is greater than 10? Yes. Now the right is 9. 9 is greater than 10? No. So here left is less than, left not equal, left less than right? No. In this case, right is interchanged with the first number. So whenever we are, so all the way, the pivot element is 10. 10 is the pivot. The numbers less than the pivot will always left side. The numbers greater than the pivot will be always in right side. Again, we have to perform QuickSort from left to pivot minus 1, position minus 1. So position plus 1 to right. Again we have to perform quicksort. If you take again 9, 8, 7, 9 is the pivot. So left is 9, right is 7. 9 less than 9, yes, yes. Now 8. 8 less than 9 is 7. 7 less than 9 is. So finally, so 9. Again you take for remaining part. Remaining part is 12, 16, 11, 15. 12, 16, 11, 15. Pivot is 12, left and right. So 12 is less than 12, yes. 16. 16 less than 12, no. Then go for right. 15 is greater than 12, yes. Now the right is 11. 11 is greater than 15, 12, no. So interchange the left with the right. Now the left is 11, right is 16. So left again left. 11 is less than 12, yes. Left increment to the left. 16. 16 less than 12, no. So go for right. 16 is greater than 12, yes. Left. 11. 11 is greater than 12, no. So left not equal, left less than right, no. In this case, again right with pivot. So 12 is the pivot, less than 12 will be on left side, greater than 12 will be on right side. Again you have to perform. So 16, 15. So this is the way we are using to sort the numbers by using quicksort. This is the process we are using in quicksort. Then we go for implementation. How to implement this by using C++, quicksort. This is the, I already given some examples. Students can practice in your home. Whether you are done or not, I don't know. So now we'll discuss quicksort. First, quicksort. First, we will write the header files. We require one header file, iostream.h. Among this, I will also use conio.h because I am using CLRS here. So that we require two header files. One is iostream.h, another is conio.h. Hash include iostream.h. Hash include conio.h. These are the two header files required to perform quicksort. Then we go for function prototyping. So I will use two functions. One is called as quicksort. This is called as function prototype. What a function prototype will instruct the compiler. A function prototype will instruct the compiler. The name of the function we are using is quicksort. The return type of this function is void. This function has three parameters. The first parameter is an integer array. The second two parameters are integer variables. This is called as function prototype. So again we need one more function, void partition. Here we are using two functions. For these two functions I am writing the function prototyping. So one is called as quicksort, another is called as partition. So the return type of this partition is an integer. So this partition function prototype will instruct the compiler. The name of the function is partition. The return type of this function is an integer. This function has two parameters. This function has three parameters. So an integer array and two integer variables. Then we'll go for main function, void main. In main function, so we are discussed how to enter the values into the array and calling the function, finally print the result. These three tasks will be performed in main function. In main function, so input, first of all we will input, then calling the function, and finally output. These three. So we need array int a of 20. So int I. These are the local variables required for the main function. A is an array which can hold maximum of 20 variables, 20 values. I and n are the local variables. First of all, you have to enter the values into the array. How many values to be entered into the array? We would like to enter n values. Here the n value is less than or equal to 20. So if n value is 10, we are interested to enter 10 numbers. If n value is 5, we are interested to enter 5 values. If n value is 15, we are interested to enter 15 values. So CLR is here, it's a clear screen. So actually this is not necessary for online compilers. So here I am using. So whenever you are using online compilers like GCC or GCC, so no need to write CLRS here. If you use the CLRS here for online compilers, you will get an error. Cout, enter number of values of the array. Cout, enter number of values of the array. Cin n. If n is 5, you have to enter 5 integers. If n is 6, you have to enter 6 integers. If n is 7, you have to enter 7 integers. Like this, you have to enter n numbers. Cout, enter n integers. So you have to enter n integers. N is 5, you have to enter 5 integers. N is 6, you have to enter 6 integers. N is 10, so you have to enter. So to enter n numbers, we use looping statements. Here I will use for loop for my convenient for I equal to 0, because the starting position of the array is 0. That's why for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus cin a of I. This is the process we are using to enter n numbers into the array. After entering after input, so you have to call the function. The function is quicksort. Quicksort a comma 0 comma n minus 1. We always know that the first position of the array is 0, the last position of the array is n minus 1. So I am passing the 0 and n minus 1. So I will assign 0 to left and n minus 1 to right. That's way. So 0 is the first position, n minus 1 is the last position, a is our input array. Finally print the output, Cout. The list for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus Cout a of I slash finally this is the main function. In main function, so the task in main function is enter n numbers into the array, then call the function, and finally print the output. So here I will call as entered n numbers into the array. After that I will call the function quicksort. Finally I print the output. This is actually this function, this main is common for all sorting programs, because I am using the standard methodology. So for all the programs, if you go for bubble sort, insertion sort, selection sort, merge sort, quick sort, whatever program, the main is common. So no need to by heart the programming concept. So program, so you have to understand the concept. Once you can understand the concept, we can easily do the problems. Otherwise, it's a very complicated process. By hearting the program is not a good idea. So you have to always implement the programs your own. How to implement the programs your own? By knowing the concept. Once you know the concept very clearly, you can understand. So you must remember the concept continuously. Once you know the concept, we can implement. Void quicksort int a of 20, comma, int left, comma, int right. I already told that. Assign the first position to left. So what is the first position? 0. So 0 is assigned to left, n minus 1 is assigned to right. Whenever I am using the function call, so the actual parameters are assigned to the formal parameters. A is assigned to A, 0 is assigned to n minus 1, 0 is assigned to left, n minus 1 is all assigned to right. Already told that assign the first position to left and last position to right. So you have to continue the process if left less than or equal to right. This I will implement by using recursion, because we are dividing the list continuously. So until left less than or equal to right. So whenever we are performing the task repeatedly, recursively, so I am implementing the program by using recursion. So until we are performing the operations continuously, repeatedly. So until left less than or equal to right. Yes, if left less than or equal to right. Yes. What we can do? So assign the first position to left. If left less than or equal to right, increment the left. If right greater than or equal to right, decrement the right. This is the work we are doing for each time. So I will call that that total work will be assigned to one function called as partition. Partition. Partition a comma left comma right. A comma left comma right. That in the partition function, whatever our concept to arrange the numbers, that will be implemented in partition. So what is the concept? Assign the first position. So left is always incremented when left greater less than or equal to right, decrement the right when right greater than or equal to pivot. So interchange everything, that concept what we are done in will be done in partition. The result is assigned to POS. Again we are performing quicksort. Quicksort a comma 0 comma position minus 1. Quicksort are not 0, left comma position minus 1. Quicksort. After finding the pivot, again we are performing the quicksort from left to position minus 1. Again position plus 1 to right. That is the concept. Here I am writing again a comma position plus 1 comma right. So this is the process we are using. What we are doing, so assign left, that will be the done in partition function. After partition, again we are doing partition. So from left to partition minus 1, again partition plus 1 to right. That partition value is assigned to POS. So again we are performing quicksort from left to position minus 1. Similarly, left position plus 1 to right. Then we go for partition. In partition int a of 20 int left comma int right. Int partition int a of left comma int a of right. These are some local variables required. These are the some local variables required. So what is our task? To divide the list assign the first position to left, always assign to no problem. So by using parameters, we assign the first position, last position to right again assigned. Assigned first position as pivot. So pivot equal to A of left. Pivot equal to A of left. Position equal to left. Pivot equal to A of left. Always assign the first number. First number is left. So assign A of left to pivot. That position is assigned to POS variable. So how to perform the task repeatedly until yes. What is, if the left position, the value contained in the left position is less than or equal to pivot, increment the left by 1. Continue this process until the value of left is less than or equal to right. That's while A of left less than or equal to pivot, left plus while A of left. So the value contained at left position is less than or equal to pivot, increment the left position by 1. We perform this task continuously until left position value is less than or equal to right. Then we go for right. What is the right side value? The right side value is always greater than or equal to pivot. So while A of right greater than pivot, right management. If A of right greater than pivot, so if the value contained at right side is greater than pivot, then decrement the right by 1. You have to perform this task continuously until right side value is greater than or equal to pivot. After some time, the left and right positions are stopped. If left less than right, if left less than right, if left less than right, interchange both left and right values. How to interchange the left and right? Temp equal to A of left, A of left equal to A of right, A of right equal to temp. So we'll perform this task continuously until I written do while left less than or equal to right. So you have to write in while loop or do while, no problem. If you want to write the while loop, so we will put in upper side while left less than or equal to do right, we perform the task continuously. So the value contained at left side less than or equal to pivot, increment the left by 1. The value contained in right side is greater than pivot, decrement the right by 1. If left less than right, so interchange both left and right. How to interchange left and right? So we already know that how to interchange both values by taking temporary variables and do it. That's the process. So this is the process we are using continuously. So to sort the number, interchange the numbers. Finally, after whenever the left is less than or equal to right, we'll perform this operation continuously until left less than or equal. Finally, so you have to interchange the first right with the pivot. So that's why A of position equal to A of right. A of position equal to right. A of right equal to pivot. Written right. Written right. This is the technique we are using in Quicksort. This is the process. I will save the number, save the program. Quicksort. errors. Enter number of values of the array 6, 2, 5, 4, 1, 9. The final output is 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 8. All the result is in sorted order. So this is the output. So I have given the input in non-sorted order. Finally, we get the result in sorted order. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 9. So we are given input in zigzag order, so not in correct order. So not in sorted order. However, we get the result in sorted order. This is the sorted order. We are getting the result. So what we are performed here. So actually, this is the implementation process. So you can always remember the concept. So once you remember the concept, you can easily implement the programs. No problem. It's not a difficult work. So without knowing the concept, it's very difficult to implement. Once you know the concept very clearly, so you can implement the program very easy. No problem. So here for this program, I use three functions. One is main function. In main function, the main function is used for input, calling the function, and output. So what we are performed in the main function? First of all, input. How many values to be given must be given? So we must give n values. So to read the n numbers, first of all, read the n value. After reading n values, I use the for loop statement because for is convenient to read n number of times. That's why the starting position of the array is 0 for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Finally, I will call the function quicksort a comma 0 comma n minus 1. I already told that assign the first position to left and last position to right. So the first position is always 0, the last position is n minus 1. That's why assign first position. First is the first position 0, 0 to left and n minus 1. What is the n minus 1? So last position is n minus 1, n minus 2 right. So again call the function quicksort, this is the function. So here I am using two functions. For these two functions, I am written function properties. Actually, so whenever using the programs in functions, the function must have a function property. So whenever you are using top-down approach, in top-down approach means the main function will be first and the details of the function will be later. So that's called as top-down approach. Whenever we are using top-down approach, so this is the way. So when we are using bottom-up approach, no need to write function properties. I will also change the program also through bottom-up approach also. So as if you are interested in bottom-up approach, you can follow the bottom-up approach method. If you are interested in top-down approach, follow the top-down approach method. Actually, C++ is a bottom-up approach. So because we are using classes, so when we are using classes and objects, I will go for that methodology. Here I am not using classes and objects. That's why I am following the top-down approach model. So when I am using the classes and objects, so surely I implement bottom-up approach only because C++ is a bottom-up approach methodology. Here we are not using C++ classes and objects. That's why I am using the top-down approach method. So when we are using top-down approach, all the functions should have a function prototypes. We already know that for each a function has mainly consists of three parts. One is called as a function declaration, function prototype. Next is function call and function definition. So this is called as function prototype or function declaration. What a function prototype? A function prototype will instruct the compiler the name of the function we are using, the return type of the function, the number of parameters, and data types of the parameters. This program will instruct the compiler. There are two functions are using in this program. One is quicksort, another is partition. The return type of the quicksort is void, and the return type of the partition is an integer. This function has three parameters: integer array, then integer variables, again integer array, integer variables. So in quicksort, actually we know we have the logic. There are two parts in the logic. I already told that. So the complete process is in one task, and subtask is also in another task. So the process is assigned first position to left, 0 is the left, last position to right, n minus 1 is the right. perform the operation until left less than or equal to left less than or equal to. So what we are performing, increment the left by 1, decrement the right by 1, interchange, the total work I will perform in partition function, because that work will be performed continuously. Otherwise, you have to use that logic in the here, no problem. So if you write functions, then it is very easy actually. So if you are not interested to write one more function, you have to use this logic in here. Now a party, instead of writing partition function, use that logic. So that's not a good practice. That's why I am using here the total logic separate function. After that, so again performed quick sort from left to position -1 and position +1 to right. What we are using, what we are performing in the partition function, I already told that. So assign the first position to pivot. What is the first position? Left. So pivot is left. Pivot is A of left and position is left. Perform the operation repeatedly until left less than or equal to right. So that it is necessary to write a looping statement. Here I have used do while looping. So you have to use for loop also, while loop also, no problem. So for convenient, I use the do while loop. So do and while until left less than or equal to. Increment the left position by 1 if the value contained at left is less than or equal to right. This process is continued until left less than or equal to right. So for this purpose, I written like this: while A of left less than or equal to pivot left plus plus. So this while loop is for executed continuously until left less than or equal to right. Then A of right. So if A of right is greater than pivot, right decrement. This while loop is executed continuously until right value, right is greater than or equal to pivot. If left less than right, interchange both left and right. So you have to perform this task until left less than or equal to right. Finally, so the pivot element interchange the right with pivot. That's why A of right is assigned to position. We already assigned pivot position POS. So that's why A of position equal to A of right. A of right equal to pivot. So and I return right value. So this is the process I am using in quicksort to sort the numbers. The time complexity of this program is order of n log n for best case and the average case. For worst case, the time complexity is order of n square. Worst case means when the numbers is already in sorted order, so the time complexity is order of n square. For best case and average case, the time complexity is order of n log n. Similarly, for merge sort also the time complexity is order of n log n for all the sort, for all the cases. So finally, after that, when we compile this program, so given 7 numbers. So this is the order, final order 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is sorted order, no problem. So this is the approach I am used in top down. Suppose you want to write in bottom up approach, no problem. So if you want to write program in bottom up approach, no need to write function prototypes and make yes, this is also is not here. So here, so I written like this. In this case, no, there is no function prototype. I removed function prototype. I written partition function, partition like this. So in the partition, this is the partition. Again, we have the main function, quicksort function, quicksort then main function. So when we are using bottom up approach, this is the methodology. 3, 4, 5. This is the sorted order. So here we are using bottom up approach. So in bottom side, whenever you are using bottom up approach, this is the bottom approach. You have to write program in top down approach or bottom up approach, no problem. So this is the bottom up approach. So already discussed the top down approach. This is the bottom up approach. The only difference is so whenever you are using top down approach, there is a need of function prototypes. Whenever using bottom up approach, no need to write prototypes because the main function will be lost. So here is the main function. I put main function at end. I put my logic before the main. So this the quicksort I have to write here or somewhere also, no problem. Control KB. KK. This is also no problem. So again, where here the mistake, if you see the mistake, for write quicksort. So all functions, whatever the function partition must be before the quicksort because we are using partition here. That's why we are getting the error here. So if you write like this, all calling functions should be above that function. That is the process. All calling functions. This is the process. No need. So actually, this is the process we are using. Finally, we are get the result in sorted order. So this is the way we are using quicksort. This is the process. The time complex. Here, this is the top bottom up approach. So bottom, if you write like this, so I will get an error. If you see that first I written quicksort, then partition, I will get an error because so for quicksort, in quicksort I called the partition function. So the partition function must be above the quicksort. Otherwise, we will get an error. So if you compile the program, so I will get one error. See, function partition should have a prototype because the partition function is called in quicksort. That partition function should always be so above the function. That's way. So I'll use control this. So you have to practice the programs in your own. So if I write like this, no, we can't get the error. This is the process. In this way, we sort the numbers by using this called as quicksort method. These are the different sorting techniques we are used in this chapter unit. So we have the different sorting techniques. One is called as bubble sort. We have already discussed, and insertion sort already discussed. Selection sort. All these are compared to sorting techniques. The time complexity of all these three sorting techniques is order of n square. Then quicksort, merge sort, and radix sort. So again, totally we have 6 sorting techniques. All 6 sorting techniques are there. So if in exam, if you ask the algorithm, you have to don't write main program. So you have to write remaining functions. That's enough. In examination, if they ask the algorithm, write an algorithm for quicksort, write an algorithm for merge sort. Don't write main program and write remaining functions. That's enough. No need. So if they ask a program, then only you have to write main. If you ask algorithm, don't write main function. So you have to write remaining function. Suppose write an algorithm for bubble sort. If a question is like this, you have to write only bubble sort function. No need to write main. Write a program for bubble sort, then only you have to write main and bubble sort. Main and bubble sort. Similarly, write an algorithm for merge sort. If they ask the algorithm for merge sort, you have to write just so merge sort and merge both two. If they ask a program for merge sort, you have to write main, merge, and merge sort. So actually, there are three types of questions will arise from sorting techniques from this unit. The first one is they will give some examples and sort the numbers by using bubble so and so sorting techniques. That is the one question. So for that you have to practice all the examples, all the method. You have to take some examples and practice in your home. That is the first part. The second part is algorithm for so and so sorting techniques. So in this case, you have to don't write main function and write the remaining model. That's third question is program for. So when they ask program, you have to write complete. So like this, there are three types of questions will be arised in examination system. How to practice this. So don't by heart at any time. I already told so many number of times to all the students, don't by heart the programs. If you by heart the program, you cannot write. So here I am writing the program, not by hearted the program. So I explain the concept. So I'm remembering the concept and writing the program. So once the concept in our mind, so then we are converting that concept into program. That's enough. Always concept must be in mind, not program is in mind. So once you have the concept, so then we can simply convert that concept into programming. What are programming? Suppose here I am using C++, just we are just converting. If you want to Python, we simply convert that program into Python, no problem. Whatever the syntax of Python, I will follow that Python syntax. That's enough. So the process is once you know the logic, once you know the concept, so logic, then we can easily implement the program. This is the way we are using different sorting techniques. These are all the different sortings. Again, we have three searching techniques: linear search and binary search and Fibonacci search. So we are already discussing linear and binary search. I am not discussing the Fibonacci search. I will discuss tomorrow Fibonacci search. After that, there is some small theory concept. What is an algorithm, what is the time complex, what are the characteristics of an algorithm. So then what is the time complexity, what is space complexity. There is one small theory concept is there. So by discussing that theory concept, this unit will be completed by tomorrow. So I request the students, if you have any doubts, so you chat them. So if you are not understand, I will explain once again also, no problem. So I am requesting students can chat them. So what students can chart and give your suggestion. So if you are understand or not. If you are not understand, again I will explain it. So if you are understand, no problem. So if it is, if you are understand, sir, yes, okay, understand, sir. If you are not understand, sir, once again you have to explain. So that I will go for that explanation process. That's the way. Okay, 549 is good, very good response. 16 also. Only girls are presenting the class, boys are not coming. The first numbers are 1 to I think 56 or 60 are the girls, I think. All girls are presenting and responding, understanding, but boys are not. What about boys? Whether they are coming to the class or not, I don't know. So the numbers after 560. So is there any numbers after 560? Why the students are not coming to the classes regularly? Also only girl students are presenting with all are girls, no boys. Only boys are very few, 1 2 3 4 5 6, totally 10 to 15 students of boys are there, remaining all are girls. So what about the remaining boys? Why they are not coming? hmm? So Hare Krishna, what about your friends, your class members? Why students are now? Why boys are not coming classes regularly? What is the problem? If they go for like this, they will lose that means. Once they will lose that means, they won't get the fees reimbursement. That is the problem. Hare Krishna is there. Hare Krishna is there? Okay, he is also not there. CR is also not there. Hmm. Okay. Tomorrow I will discuss once again on one more topic. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Can I stop? So is there any doubt? If no doubt, I will stop this process.